make sure I'm live on YouTube as well. Okay, there we go. Like I said, yesterday ended up being a good day for my clients. 2 solid appointments, 3 or 4 really good leads that we'll be nurturing. So good results there. And yeah, let's get on the dialer and just get right to it, right? Make sure everything's set up here and we'll get moving and grooving. I'm going to go ahead and add a poll. And then we'll just get right into the dialer. Got to dial back in here. For some reason, I didn't get connected.
The number you have dialed is...
Dialing in right now, and then we'll get moving on the calls.
Thank you. Once you click the start button, your dial session will begin.
For some reason, it's not connecting. Let me reset this here. All right. Start a completely new dial session. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions or comments, please go ahead and put it in the chat. Again, I'm live on YouTube as well as on my Facebook page. I'm going to put a link for each so you guys can take a look at that if you'd like. Okay. And we're also live in a few of my groups that I've created on Facebook. I'm going to start a watch party as well. It's going to be about 8:45, 11:45 in Tampa. So midday is a really good time to call sometimes. You know, first thing in the morning, midday, and then evening. You know, you can catch different people at different times. And that's the whole idea because, you know, I don't just call these leads once. You know, we're calling them 10, 15, 20 times until we actually get a hold of somebody to see if they need our help, right? As well as the follow-ups. There's different times of the day that we want to be following up. Okay, so we are live. I'm going to go ahead and make sure this is set up properly. Okay, here we go. I'm going to dial in one more time. This is a newer office that I'm trying out today. Hopefully I don't piss off people in here. All right, here we go, guys. So this is a for rent by owner, so we're calling it an investor.
Hello?
Hi, Yev.
Yes?
This is Jeremy over at Frank Albert Realty calling about the property that you have for rent on Globe Thistle Drive.
Oh, hi, Jeremy. Yes.
Did you already get tenants in that, or is that still available?
Yeah, we have two people interested, so one will come in today.
Okay, well, like I said, I work with Frank Albert Realty, and I was just calling to see if you would consider selling that property if you can get the right price.
What do you mean by that?
Well, that's one of your investment properties, and what I mean is, with the market being so hot, would you consider selling the property compared to being a landlord?
No, because I just bought it, so I mean it depends what you can offer, but
Right.
maybe I was not planning to do that.
How long have you owned it? Okay, so it's a new property. Got it. Well, what I was calling to do, what I would see if you'd be okay with that is I would have one of our specialists just run some numbers, email them over to you so you kind of know where you're at. And so if the numbers are right, of course, I'm sure you consider that. And if not, at least you know where you are with things. What's the best email to send you that valuation to?
Do you have my name and last name? Or
No, sir. I just have your first name. That's all I have.
Yeah, so yeah, but it's not my full first name, so
Okay.
yeah, so it's G-E-M as Nicholas,
You have Jim?
and four letters of last name, L-I-E-T, P is a Peter, at gmail.com.
You have Jim Lids?
Yeah, at gmail.com.
Do you have any other units that you'd consider selling?
Well, okay, sorry, it's hard to explain.
I was just curious to see if you have any other units you want us to run some numbers on for you.
Oh, no,
Okay.
I don't.
Does this number get text messages if I sent you a text?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we get done here, I'm going to text you the name of the specialist that will put the numbers together for you on our team. They'll put them together today and email them over to you tonight. And if the numbers make sense, you guys can connect for a call. And if not, at least we can establish that relationship. So down the line, if you have any units that you wanted to unload, you can reach out to us. Again, I'm with Frank Albert Realty. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
All right, guys. So that right there is an investor call. It's a little bit different than calling an expired or a for sale by owner. He's a new investor. He just bought that property. So what we're going to do is run the numbers and send them over. Most likely there's not a lot of equity there, but that's a different style than, the expireds and the FSBOs. It's more of a direct conversation and just getting straight to the point. It's more of a business conversation. So let me go ahead and set the call back for tomorrow. What we'll do is we'll download the hot sheet, send that over to one of our specialists on the team, and they will run the numbers and establish our relationship. That's what it's all about there, really. It's just creating a relationship to get into the pipeline. And if we can help them now, great. If we can help them down the line, that's fine too, right? I didn't quite understand what he said for the email address. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to text him and then just verify the email, and he'll correct me pretty easily. So, okay. So first call of the day, decent conversation. Give me a few moments while I do the admin side of things, and then we'll get on to the next phone call. And I believe this one's going to go to Randy. Randy's he's the next one on the list. There's about 10 agents that I send these appointments to, and I just do a round robin. So, yep, Randy's up next. Just getting a call back from one of the leads I had called earlier. So I use Google Voice, and Google Voice will track all of that. And so later on, I'll create a list of folks that have called me back. It's a way we just basically don't let stuff fall through the cracks and do follow up. So what I do initially, I'm going to let the broker know about that, and then the broker will notify the agent too. It's a pretty simple system that we have because I've been doing really good for Frank Albert, and so he's basically giving me access to his team, so that way he doesn't have to take too much time from his day to be able to assign these leads. So when I create a lead or an appointment, I just go ahead and assign it directly to the agent that's going to be handling that. Okay, so I'll send that over to our broker, and then I'm going to put them in for that follow-up call for tomorrow around the same time. And then I'll download what's called the hot sheet, basically with all of the lead information as well as my notes. And then I'll send that over to Randy, who's going to be putting together the numbers and then calling Yev to go over the valuation with him. And most likely there's probably not enough equity for it to make sense for him to sell right now, but it creates a relationship. So down the line, if he wants to do something, we can be his go-to realtors for that. Okay, so we're going to set that up for tomorrow at about the same time. 8:45, which is 11:45 out there. And then, okay. Let me just go ahead and download this, and then I'm going to do the admin stuff here in a little bit. I'll go ahead and finish up after the call session, so that way we can just get to the next calls. And what's great about these systems like Vulcan or RedX or Mojo, whatever systems that my clients have in place, all of the calls that I make, they're all going to be recorded. So I can simply just go back and listen to the calls, or I can email that over to the agent or broker that I'm assigning that to. So that way everybody's on the same page. It's also really good for, training purposes. All right. So we got that on calendar. We downloaded all the important information, and let me make sure that it's all synced up here with Google. And then we'll just go on to the next call. Okay. Here we go. This is going to be an expired or a canceled listing. He was on the market for 86 days, 123,000.
What? Hello?
Hi, sorry about that. I think we just got disconnected. This is Jeremy calling from Frank Albert Realty about your property on 22nd Ave.
We don't have property there.
Oh, so it's bad information that we have. It must be frustrating. You're probably getting a bunch of calls about that.
Yeah, we have that, but yeah, no, we don't have any property.
Okay. Has anybody explained what's actually happening here so you can try to get your number removed?
No.
So I'm with a local real estate company, and everybody that's been calling is also calling. We're calling about a property on 22nd Ave in Tampa. Okay. And so sometimes, I don't know, how long have you had this phone number?
This number?
Yeah.
Oh, God, years. And it's a different area code. We've only moved to Florida like 2 years ago.
Okay. Do you know Cagle and Hirschman Properties? It's a company.
What is it called?
Cagle, C-A-G-L-E, and Hirschman Properties, LLC.
Hirschman is the last name of the people we bought our house from, but it's nowhere. I don't even know where 22nd Avenue is.
That's probably how it got tied in. Sometimes our assistants go really deep with information, and so they pull like tax records. And so maybe that's my thought, is that it was probably mixed in somehow. What I can do is make sure that, we don't call again. However, other realtors and brokers may be reaching out,
Yeah, I mean, this is my cell phone.
Okay.
But people keep calling our house phone too with it.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know where 22nd, but Hirschman is the name of the people we bought this house from.
That makes sense.
Our current house.
Let me see if I have your, because I have a few numbers. Let me make sure that your cell phone's, your house phone's not on there. Just give me your house number and I'll make sure to remove it if it's on here.
Hang on 1 second, because I don't.
Yeah, no problem.
If we get know what the house phone number is here, can you check on your cell phone? How can we find out quick what our house phone number is? I don't even know what it is.
If I read a few numbers off,
Hang on 1 second.
if I read a few numbers off, do you think you would know?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I somewhere. No.
Okay.
Okay, I do have it. You ready?
Yeah, well, go ahead and give it to me, and then if it's here, I'll make sure to remove it from the contact.
It's 813-428-6250.
I did have that number, but I'm going to remove it. So that's. I mean, it's not as odd for me because I see it happening all the time, but I can understand how frustrating it might be for you guys.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what is that? But yeah, no, so that is the whole number. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was on there. So, it saved me time too, because I'd probably end up calling you back here in a minute.
Perfect. Thank you.
Now, again, I can't guarantee that no other companies will call, but you won't get any more calls from Frank Albert Realty, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
While I have you on the phone, are you going to be buying or selling any property we can help you with? All right. She had already hung up before I had a chance to ask her. That's okay. Try to be as helpful as possible. That type of stuff will come back to you. So these are about 3 weeks old. So they've taken them off the market since the 20th. And so they've had a chance to relax a little bit and think about what they want to do compared to a brand new, fresh, expired or canceled listing.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 7164.
Hello?
Hi, good morning or afternoon. Calling for Tori.
Yeah, this is Tori. Who's calling?
This is Jeremy with Frank Albert Realty about your property on West Jetton.
You got a buyer for me?
No, we do not. I was calling to see if you're working with buyer's agents, if we brought you a buyer.
Sure. I'll give you 1.5%.
How much?
1.5%.
Oh, that's pretty generous of you. Have you had any offers yet?
Well, that's on $1 million. You're making over $20,000.
I wasn't joking. I was saying that's generous of you.
Okay. Well, if you bring me a buyer, you got $20,000 to work on the situation.
Sounds good, Tori. Thanks for the info. Not our client, guys. We're going to put him in there as a buyer only. And then I will follow up in a few weeks to see if he's gotten it sold and see if things have changed. Pretty simple. All right, this is another for sale by owner. It was listed a couple of days ago on the 6th.
Hello?
Good afternoon. This is Jeremy with Frank. Hello?
Sí,
Gonzalo?
señor. Cuénteme.
You speak English?
No, Spanish, please.
It's about your property on Whisper Point Drive. About the house that you're selling?
One moment. One moment, please.
Okay, thank you.
Vamos a tener que tenerlo apuntado por aquí en algún lado. Oye. Hello?
Hi, so is this,
Hello?
yes, is this Gonzalo's wife?
What do you need?
I was calling about the property that you're selling on Whisper Point Drive.
Can you call please 813-384-9707?
Who is that?
Roger,
Who is that?
he talks English for us.
Thank you. I'll call him. I'll put a poll in there on Facebook, guys. So if you're watching on Facebook, go ahead and give me your vote. So that was a Spanish-speaking owner.
Hello?
Hi, this is Jeremy. Hi, this is Jeremy with Frank Albert Realty. The owners of Whisper Point Drive just gave me your number to call you.
I don't know what for. What is this pertaining to?
Well, they said that you were helping them translate for the property that they're selling.
No, sir. No, I'm not a realtor. sir. I wish I was, but no, I'm not a realtor or translator, sir.
So you don't know Gonzalo Vera?
No, I don't, sir. Have a good day.
Okay. Well, that's not much we can do there, guys. I don't speak Spanish, and they gave me the wrong number, so we'll just move on to the next and put it in there as Spanish speaking, and then I'll have our Spanish speaking assistant give them a call. So the connection here at this office is not quite as fast as I need it to be.
Oh,
Hi, Mr. Nguyen.
yeah?
This is Jeremy with Frank Albert Realty calling about your property on 80th Avenue.
Yeah, are you a realtor and calling to sell or what?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
Are you calling me to try to get me to list on the market to sell it or what? This is for sale by owner, so I don't need any realtor yet.
So you don't want us to bring you a buyer?
Well, if you can ask your buyer, to pay you commission, yes, why not?
Okay, well, I didn't mention anything about listing your property. I'm sorry you might be getting a lot of calls from people bugging you about that, but I didn't mention that. So,
So what do you think about me?
so if we brought you a buyer, you're offering a commission on that side?
No, that's what I'm saying. When you bring the buyer, you should ask your buyer to pay you the commission.
Mr. Nguyen, I don't know if you know how it works, but that's not how it works. So no realtor is going to bring you a buyer unless you're offering a commission. That's just not how it works.
Right, the buyer has to pay you for this time because I don't need the realtor, to go on to this sale yet. You have to wait until after December.
Okay, well, hey, good luck on getting it sold, okay?
Thanks.
So we put him in there for a follow-up in a month, and then we'll see if he has sold it, and then see if things have changed. Pretty simple. So I'll put him in there for a follow-up call at the end of September and just see where he is with things, see if his mindset has changed, and we'll just move on to the next call. All right. Here we go.
Hello?
Yes, Matthew?
Yeah.
This is Jeremy Marquez over at Frank Albert Realty about your apartment on 92nd Street.
Yeah.
Did you get that sold or is it still available?
No, the renters move out the end of this month, so it'll be available after that.
Okay, so it's occupied right now with tenants, and then you're going to actively start showing it and to sell at the end of the month or beginning of October.
Probably, I gotta go in there.
Right.
Straighten it up, but probably mid-October.
I'm curious, what's a place like that rent for out there?
I got it at $11.50, but I should be getting like 12 or 13.
Oh, you can get that much right now? I don't live locally. I work for Frank Albert Realty, but I don't live in the area, so I'm curious to see what the rents are out there.
Yeah, anywhere between 12 and 14.
12 and 14. Okay. And it looks like it's 2-bedroom, 2-bath. That's pretty good. Because I'm actually out in Northern California, and you couldn't even get like a studio for $1,200 out here.
Well, yeah, it's starting to get that way in St. Pete anyways.
much, but yeah, I mean, I can imagine California, but yeah, this is, I mean, I'm looking to just unload it and invest in something else. So there's actually a condo in Quebec City I want to buy.
Okay.
I'm looking to do that.
So you're going to get rid of this and then buy something in Quebec City?
Yeah, I'm looking at that. There's a property, condo property out there. I'm looking at.
So you need to unload this first?
Right.
Okay. And like I said, I'm gonna be a straight shooter here because there's no point in wasting your time. Frank Albert Realty, we not only help a lot of buyers, but we sell a lot of property too. And we were hoping to be able to meet with you to show you what we would do to get that condo sold quickly for you for top dollar.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, what are you guys? What's your guys' commission? 7%, 6%, or 3%?
So everything when it comes to that, that's going to be negotiable. But like I said, I'm not really allowed to talk about the actual percentage as in my role. I'm only an assistant. And so what I would do is I would set up a call with you and one of our specialists. So that way you guys can work out the details and make it make sense for you.
Yeah, if you want to get back to me like the middle of October, that's fine, man.
Okay. In the meantime, why don't I shoot you over our company's resume so you can see who we are, and then if needed, you can reach out, or otherwise I'll reach out to you beginning middle of October. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fine.
What's the best email for you?
mcarouz, KAROUZ33 @gmail.com.
Okay, so your first initial, your last name, 33 @gmail.com. Now, if you couldn't get it sold on your own for the price that you want, do you have a go-to realtor you'd already work with, or are you open to interviewing our team?
I mean, I have someone that I've used before, but I'm open.
So just so you know, Frank Albert Realty, we have our sister company. It's called Sublime Staging. So if needed, we'll come in and stage the property so it sells for top dollar. And then on top of that, we do a 90-day guarantee to where if we don't get it closed in 90 days, we take $1,000 off of our commission. So basically it means that we don't take listings unless we know we're going to get it sold in 90 days.
Right.
So I'll leave a little bit in the email. I'll send that over to you so you can take a look at it. And then whenever you're ready, if you can't get it done on your own, just let me know and I'll set up a time for you to meet with one of our specialists.
All right, no worries.
All right, Matt, have a good one, man. Bye. So for sale by owner investment property, he has tenants in it right now. They're moving out at the end of the month. We're going to send him an email and then nurture it and then follow up with him beginning middle of October to set up a time for him to meet with one of our specialists. Now, here's the thing. He might sell it on his own and he might not need us, but it's good to be able to establish that relationship just in case he needs us, because in our mind, we want to be able to do what's right by the seller. And as default, if we help enough people reach their goals, of course, we're going to get paid. So it's relationships over transactions, guys. Remember that. So I'm going to send him an email with our resume so he has that on hand. And then I'll give him a follow-up call at the beginning of October. Yeah, he said middle of October, but there's no reason we can't reach out a little bit sooner just to see how things are going and schedule that time for him to meet with one of our listing advisors. So that's a good call. There's no point in pushing it and trying to set an appointment now. We got the email, got a little bit of information. He wants to sell the property to be able to buy another one in Quebec City. And so those are his goals. And so it's good for me to have all that information to be able to relay that to the team so they have more ammo to be able to use when they meet with them, right? Okay. So we'll put them in there for a call the first week of October. Now, I usually set it up for the same day around the same time that I called him initially. So we'll do that. I'm going to print out the hot sheet as well. So he has that apartment listed right now for a 119, and he gets 1150 in rent. So it's perfect for one of our other investors to come and just swoop that thing up. And Frank works with a ton of investors that will just, as soon as we list it, boom, get the double ender. So you get the listing and you also get the buyer, right? That's what we want. Okay, so I'm downloading the hot sheet, and then we will download the recorded call, and then we'll just move on to the next one, and I'll do the admin side of stuff as soon as I'm done with that, as soon as I'm done with the dial session. So we'll keep dialing here till about 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock out there on the East Coast, and we'll take a short break. And okay, go over here to Vulcan and pull out the call recording. I think I have them in there as a nurture, maybe even a hot appointment, a hot prospect. Let's see. Yep, hot prospect. Okay, so again, if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, please use the comments. And in between calls, I'll check the comments. And when I get to it, I will try to field your questions and things like that. So anything in regards to my calls, my system, my process, anything like that. If you want to make fun of me, if I have something on my chin, go ahead and do so in these. All right, so we're going to put that in there as a lead. Give me 1 second here, guys, while I finish this up, and then we'll get to the next call. Okay, here we go. And then what we'll do with Matthew is we'll send him that email as well as a text message as soon as I get done with the dial session. So, here's the thing. If I was setting an appointment that was going to be an appointment like tomorrow, it's more important than just a follow-up. I would do that stuff right now, but since it's not an actual appointment, we're not following up for a couple of weeks. There's no reason to take time away from the call session compared to just getting to the next call, right? Okay, this is a for sale by owner. Just looking at the price point, it's only 20,000. We're going to skip that one. Minimum price point we want to do is about 100 grand. If it's less than that, we usually won't even touch it. Okay, so this is a for sale by owner rental property. Another one here, 600,000. Wow, it's a $600,000 apartment or condo. Must be really nice. Probably on the water out there. Let's see if we can get somebody on the phone. I really want to take a look at this property. Let me look up the address real quick. For 600,000 for an apartment or a condo, for that area, it has to be really nice. For in California, that'd go for over $1 million guaranteed. Oh yeah, it's right on the water. Oh wow, yeah. So it's basically a penthouse on the top of a condo building. Very nice. I'll put a link here in the chat so you guys can take a look at it as well. Okay, and then we'll just move on to the next call. This is a $1.3 million for sale by owner.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice.
$1.4 million for sale by owner. All right, guys, give me a few moments. I'm going to go ahead and use the restroom real quick, and I'll come right back. Actually, it might be best to go ahead and end the dial session right now. Let me stop this live, and then I'll come back in about a half hour or so, and we'll do some more cold calling, answer your questions, things like that. If you guys are just tuning in, I do thank you. And if you have any questions or any comments, if you're interested in my service, shoot me a DM or hop on my calendar and just let me know how I can help. And have a good rest of your Wednesday. Talk to you soon. All right, so we'll end that.